This is Weird Renegade Witches blog. Hit us up when you want some real motherfucking work done. And you know, as I say, go to the Weird Renegade website where you need to contact me. The phone number is there. In addition to, of course, email. But like I always say, you got to tell me that is there and I might look at it. However, the other energies, of course, is to go to Instagram, but for one-on-one monthly lessons, one-on-one lessons, in addition to work, of course, hit me up through that number. But understand that work and one-on-one are two separate energies. But like I said, most of the time it goes hand in hand. And you already know that wayward is about that revenge, redemption, responsibility, and that motherfucking spell work. Okay. People were texting me and wanted me to respond to something that was in my comments. However, I also had some people hit me up that I know who are Brazilian and also in Brazil, and also showed me the live energy and pictures. So as you know, that our government in the United States is playing games and playing in our faces. They're playing in our faces with the federal government. They're changing and doing all these amended laws and executive orders that are really against our rights, that are really illegal, and really it goes against we the people, and trying to restructure and resculpture the fabric of America and also being indigenous people. So they're playing in our face, they're playing with culture, they're trying to eliminate and dissolve certain frequencies. So as if we don't have those rights anymore. So it's a violation of rights, right? So anyway, they're trying to, of course, create America as this third world country. So again, as I talked about in my previous video before this, I talked about them training the National Guard as a privatized entity, okay, and a privatized police force, okay? And then, of course, we're going to have ICE coming in, who they're trying to privatize. And we have to understand these frequencies are very interesting, because some of the people in the National Guard, they have, a lot of them have mental disorders. They're very rogue. They're very, as we call, feral. They're like rabid dogs, the same thing of ICE. And as we already know, Secret Service, and so on, a lot of them have domestic violence cases, sexual assault, molesting, asylum, psychosis, all of that. So you have to kind of understand where they're going, because again, as Americans, we are supposedly protected by law in reference to feral type of, we're going to say, policing, you know, them just busting in your door and shooting up everybody. But we already know through previous frequencies that, you know, they'll neutralize you any fucking way, right? However, the energies that they're doing is like as if they're training these people under the frequencies of the Navy SEALs effect, the type of mind, the type of recruitment, the type of programming, the type of controlling, the type of, you know, as we say, brainwashing. And they choose certain people who have certain type of psychosis, mental disorders, traumas, and so on. And then what they do is tap into all of those frequencies. So these type of workforces, we better be careful. In addition, we still don't know where the motherfuckers went who came from the border. We still don't know, when we see a lot of these Mexicans that they have around here, we don't know what it is, what it ain't, what it is, and what it ain't. Okay? So we have to be careful, because a lot of those kids around the 2016s are now older. We don't know what the hell they did with them. How do you know those aren't the ICE agents? Just talking, just asking. Okay? So there's certain things that we should understand. However, the reason why I'm talking this way is because I know people from Brazil. As you understand, there was a massacre, a mass massacre. There was a disruption. There was murder. There was mayhem. And what they're telling you is not the truth. There's pictures, there's videos, and there's people talking about it firsthand. I've talked to some people firsthand. There's people that we know firsthand that are talking about what really happened in Brazil and how the police went in and they shot up anybody and everybody, and if anybody moved, they killed them, they murdered them. We're going to say allegedly, but this is what is being said. People in the States who are Brazilian are getting calls from their people in Brazil talking about how they went over there and just shot up most of the men, boys, and some women. Okay, they didn't care. If you were in the house and somebody rumored or assumed and say they're drug dealers, they just went in there and shot up everybody. If you moved a certain way, they said if you move, they'll shoot you. Okay, and then had the audacity, after neutralizing them and creating a sacrifice in necromancy, they lined them up. And to remind you, the majority of them were men of color, black men, melanated people. So we have to be careful of America emulating that culture. They, for my son, they do the same thing in Mexico. But this right here was a mass massacre. And it was nothing nice. Okay? So we have to be careful with them playing around with the federal energy. As you guys see, they're pumping up Cash Patel and him doing all of these FBI busts. So we better look sideways on whatever that shit is and how they're playing in our faces. So that means everything dealing with the police, food stamps, all this shit is a whole bunch of game to lead to something else, to privatize everything. And these people sit up and go straight dog pharaoh on your ass. Like fucking rabid dogs with fucking rabies. So I'm going to suggest that if you have people in Brazil, you know people in Brazil who was in that energy and know what it is, talk to them. And it's very interesting this happened. Jamaica, Haiti, Cuba, all of that. This is a total cleansing. But that shit that went down in Brazil, that was a cold sacrifice. And it's like as if they are really trying to get rid of anything that is melanated. We are not people of color. Again, people of color are these Indians, Asians, Mexicans, or whatsoever. Okay? So that's where that is. Anyways. Somebody hit me up and wanted me to address a comment. So, as you know, I've been talking a lot about the Hindu, Islam, whatever you want to call yourselves in this, right? And in my last video, I said Allah Akbar. Okay? And I'm going to paraphrase it. But some of y'all see, you could go back because I made sure to put a heart on it. The person came back at me, but I'm paraphrasing, but I'm just going to read between the lines. Bitch, shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about. And you better be careful talk about Allah, because he going to come back and strike you. Okay? I responded to them in the comments saying this is exactly what I'm talking about, and this is exactly what we should look at and take notes. So the person came back, of course, commented, but I didn't give a fuck because what you said is what you said. What is so dangerous about that energy is if we were face to face, I would have a problem, and it would end up very ugly. Because I'm going to tell you people right here, right now, I have no problems with my whatever sisters, whatever Islam, whatever you want it, whatever it is. and never had. But however, I'm going to stand on business when I'm saying reevaluate your spermicide homicide beliefs, because her response to me was spermicide homicide. I'm saying reevaluate it, look at yourself, put yourself as a woman first, and reevaluate what the fuck you're under. If you choose to believe in whatever, but make sure you a woman first fucking in it, and no man is delegating what the fuck you're talking about. So under this frequency, I'm considered ignorant. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Okay? And let me say this. I always know what the fuck I'm talking about, even if you don't fucking like it. I'm an occultist. I research. I've been in it. I know what the fuck it is. You just don't like the fact that it was unwrapped and you look like a damn fool in it, because your words proved the whole sentiment of what the fuck I was saying. But let's say this. What is so dangerous about this is people will assume certain things about you because how you come across. You know, because I'm not an expert in their head. I'm not talking in a calm nature or in a nature that's educated with the academic words for your ass. So I'm considered ignorant. And under men, I'm considered ignorant, because to them, I speak ignorance. They don't like the way I come across, how my voice elevates, how whatever it is and what it ain't, right? So anyway, as I'm pulling her energies, I'm like, what in the world? The thing about it is, her behavior and some of their behavior, especially some of these women, reminds of when I initially came out and I would talk about Santeria and Ifa. And people in Santeria and Ifa had a real motherfucking issue with me because I talked against it. Because they follow practices that they believe that comes down from generations. Nigerians don't even fucking practice the shit right. There is no way to practice it, because this is all fucking elemental. It's all man is manifesting through man's eyes. It's an idol. And also in Santeria, they'll tell you in Ifa and all of that, you can't wear your lickes when you on your fucking period. I don't give a fuck. I take them fucking lickes and soak that shit up in period blood. And what? You can't practice shit that has you against yourself. You under fucking Leviticus, Timothy, and Kings? Excuse me? What kind of women are you? Okay. As I started to really understand this person, I said, damn, the spirit and the word and the philosophical frequencies that's under it was never wrong. See, in the word, it told us we were going to come up against people like them. The young lady or the person said that they were born in it. You're not born in a religion. You get under the religion, then you get programmed. You are born in the world, and then you are programmed. So that's why I said, when you're ready to talk and be deprogrammed in the spiritual realm from this bullshit right here, then we could talk. This Muslim Hindu shit is conquering the universe. So much so that they have constructed an energy They have constructed an energy that in the long run, Black people believe that we don't have a culture, custom, and foundation. They're restructured and erased a whole energy of work, spell work, hoodoo, Christianity, whatever. We are confusing Satanism with sadism. They've erased all of that. They keep directing you back into Africa to enslave you, but not telling you you are indigenous. Again, not all of us come from there. They're intentionally creating sectors and discrimination within the culture. Months ago, they had South Africans battling against people in Louisiana, the fucking Zulu tribe. But then the South Africans are over here all up in the assholes of Hindus and practicing yoga and changing the scope of their religion. In Africa and Caribbean islands, we don't know what the fuck is going on because other cultures have came in and colonized the full energies, and then they played games and stole people from different parts of the world and mixed everybody up. What the fuck are you talking about? You're nothing but a Moor. You're a gypsy. You're an Islamic gypsy. And you're attacking another woman over a motherfucking man? And didn't I tell you most women will whoop your ass over a man? Spermicide, homicide. She ready to come at me and whoop my ass over Allah. I don't give a fuck about a Allah. I don't fuck with that. But if you do, that's your motherfucking business. And I'll tell you in your face. Call me up, I'll tell you on the phone. Matter of fact, FaceTime me, I'll tell you again. Because with me being a Christian girl back in the day, the pastor said, and the Bible said, and the Spirit said, we not supposed to fuck with you Hinduisms. We not supposed to fuck with you Muslims. We not supposed to fuck around with no Allahs. We not supposed to fuck around with the conscious community. We not supposed to fuck around with Egyptians. We not supposed to fuck around with experts. We not supposed to fuck around with motherfuckers who believe that they are kings of kings and kings of gods. We are not supposed to fuck around with false idols, false gods, psychics, and freaking tarots. False. The Spirit warned us against you and said for us to have discernment, because what the Spirit said, if I was a Christian girl, that we're supposed to love you but kill you. Okay? You know I'm not lying. That's why most of y'all can't fuck around with Christianity. Because you understand there's death in it. Everybody always talk about this Muslim shit, but they cause us to fear it. But we don't have to fear that shit. That's why it's conquering the universe. They're out here telling you, come back home. To what? To an ass whooping? For me to be confused if I want my head covered or not covered, whatever covered? Shit. Therefore, what I'm saying to you, what you have to understand, the lady in the comments, is that if I was the Christian girl, I can't talk to you. I have to love you. Because I know that you don't know any better. And you have to love people who don't know any better. But at the same time, I have to protect myself if I was a Christian. And I have to battle you because you're an enemy. Because the word said you're an enemy. Okay? And when you're an enemy, you gotta get put to sleep. Because the bottom line is that where you believe in your Allah, I believe in the Lords of Lords. You see how there's spiritual warfare going on here? You see how literally black women is going to start being against each other? But then you going to get these weak Christian black women who haven't adopted or adapted their old school grandmother prayer warrioring and understanding. And then this Islamic concept is going to override it. That Hindu shit is going to override the foundation. And even if you don't practice this, if you practice anything outside of that, the Hindu and Islamic energies is going to squash it. Because you're not standing on business. You're not grounded. Because too much money has been invested to kill you, to colonize you, to gentrify you, for men, spermicide, homicide, to stick their dicks in your women and then create this whole new master culture of these biracial motherfuckers and mutts. That's why I always admit, look at me, look at the way I look. Stealing identities, all this shit, that breaks up a culture. Bring drugs in the community, kills the culture. Now they have got you in a state where they saying, we don't need you. We're just going to fire all y'all. Matter of fact, we're going to fire all these niggas up in CBS and these people of color. We don't need their nigga up in here, and we're going to create something that we never heard before called DEI. And I'm like, if they fired all of the black people at CBS, including Gayle King, that's a federal racial lawsuit. That's not under DEI. Because DEI is for something else. DEI is for people of color. So therefore, black people, stop saying you are a person of color. I'd rather for you to say you're melanated. I'd rather for you to say you're black, but never put yourself under people of color, because you're an indigenous person. And if you put yourself under color, then you put yourself under DEI. Don't let them play you. And there's something going on with Gayle King anyway. We don't know the background of her. We don't know what that energy is. So we don't even know what's going on. We just know that it's on social media. That's what they're telling us. And I'm like, well, are people forgetting there's federal laws for protected class and protected people? Anyway, so as that woman or that person made sure to tell me to shut the fuck up and don't talk to their Allah, then I have the right, if I'm under Christianity, to kill her. We just talk in the real words, and we talking in spirit, because we understand that we were in the Old Testament, we would have to kill her, because she's a op, she's a psyop, she's an enemy. Because these people are trying to put you under Egypt. Because if we flip the Hagar story, we could say she had a psychosis and she was a hoe and she was poverty. Which leads into the whole Islamic or Muslim energy. Flipping. So we have to be careful of the jealousy and vindictive. Right? However, if I'm a Christian, then I would have to say that she's an enemy. And then I would have to say that she would need to be put to death. Then I would have to strike her with full of smite. Then I would have to come back at her, kill her dead, and take hot coals and put it on her eyes and burn until she's nothing. Right? Then as a Christian, we have to make sure that we have to throw her in the Red Sea with the rest of the dead bodies. By of flames. And then close it back up so she can never rise again. Right? If we were talking Christianity, if I was a Christian. Right? Because we have to make sure in Christianity that those people never rise up again. If we have the discernment. But they made sure to all come together financially and energy-wise to shut down all of that. And to displace the elders in it. That we don't get the true frequencies of how to fight them. They made sure to bust, discuss, and embarrass everything that's Christian. They made sure to put all of the black people out who are lesbians and gays. They made sure to tell us that Twinkie Clark has AIDS. Y'all didn't see all that shit? They didn't sat up and took everything occultism and spirituality in the black culture and put it on social media. Then we have motherfuckers getting out here creating their own philosophies. Well, is it this, and is it that, and is it this, and is it that? You don't know what shit is. That's why we got people like her sitting up telling me to shut the fuck up, and I don't know shit about Islam and whatever, and Allah Akbar. The fucks? Do you understand back in the day? If that woman would have came up talking like that, all of them prayer word sisters would have came up and tore that ass up. You would have had all type of voodooists, hoodooists, spell workers, occultists fucking her up. Fuck your gin. I'm over here trying to tell you how to understand yourself as a woman, what the fuck you're under. But that spermicide homicide have you fucked up. We just having a conversation, right? That's all I got to say about it. This is going to be a problem, ladies. This going to be a problem to you as the birds are clacking. This is exactly what I was talking about. Of the future. Of how you're being treated. And how you will be treated. And how you will be looked at. Because in the long run, anybody that think like me, I'm ignorant. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I don't know shit. I ain't never had no Muslim man trying to fight me. I ain't never had no Muslim man give my money to my kid's father telling me he got to give my money that I paid him to a man. I ain't never sat up in no fucking cab and a fucking Muslim man because I said, oh, you're going the wrong way. In my country, we would beat your ass. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know shit. All right. I'm just on here talking because I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just part of the ranch. I'm basically under somebody that's guiding me, and I'm so ignorant that I ain't studied. I don't know, because I can't attach myself and feel how you feel, and because you didn't went through some things or you was born in something, understand a certain energy that you under. I don't even believe in the fucking Christian God, the man. The fuck you talking about? Because I see where that goes. Watch out. I told y'all, watch out for that crew. Watch out for that crew. Under the spermicide homicide, what is scary is that the Muslim woman, Islam, are midwives and doulas. And you don't think it's scary that these women may be birthing your kids in their assholes. They got a certain belief about you. And the only reason why they talk to you is because they learn compassion. Because you're ignorant. So that's why they have to educate you. That's why they don't mind talking to you when you ask questions, because you're ignorant. But if they can persuade you in, they can give you the good, the bad, the evil. Just come on in. So you got to be careful who's birthing your kids. Furthermore, we need to do more research of what the fuck is going on in Maryland. But not only in Maryland, but in other states, of pregnant women. I talked about this before, of getting syphilis, and I'm finding out gonorrhea. And there is a new AIDS energy that has popped up. CDC, research under the CDC. What the fuck are these men doing? And why are they not talking about the Muslim women, Islamic women coming up with HIV, coming up with gonorrhea and syphilis, chlamydia, herpes? They're not talking about that because they're keeping it shut mouth in their culture. Just like there's certain things going on in the Jewish culture that they're not talking about. They're not talking? They're not talking. Okay. Spermicide, homicide. Y'all around here talking about Cardi B has made it out, the girl from the Bronx. The girl this from the Bronx. She's going to open up, what is it? Is it a private school? And y'all are hyping that shit up. I said, who's using Cardi B name? Here we go. Cardi B shocked America when she signed a $175 million contract to build the first boarding school for orphans and homeless children. What Indian and Muslim and third world and abroad, who's behind that and using her? I keep telling you, dumbasses. And you know who you dumb. It ain't real. Who's using her? They just told you who they're targeting. Orphans and homeless children, homeless babies. They created a new culture of homeless children and homeless babies out here, and drug-addicted aliens and drug-addicted zombie children. The fuck you talking about? So we gonna take homeless babies and orphans and put them in a boarding school? And y'all talk about, yeah, she's from the Bronx. Yeah, she this, she that. What the fuck you talking about? Who are you people? That ain't cute. Shit. Then somebody was telling me about Umar Johnson, how he fell the fuck out. That nigga fell out. Then somebody had the audacity to write up a fucking PR stunt report, a PR energy of him clowning people who's reporting that he fell out. I don't know who wrote that shit, but it wasn't Umar. Umar is a Leo, allegedly, and he want to be front and center. He would have said it himself. Man, let me read this shit, because I'm going to tell you, it's a tongue twister. Here we go. Good Garvey Day, family. Please disregard YouTubian struggle streamer propaganda suggesting that the prince, a Pan-African, suffered a medical emergency of some sort. I just finished having dinner in Montgomery County, PA, with a beautiful African queen. I can assure you that most requested black scholar in the world is all good and couldn't be better. I want to thank the Ifatunde faithful for checking up on King Kong. I don't know who in the white, who in the Indian, who in the Asian, who in the fuck, who in a Jew wrote that fucking shit, but it was not him. They just playing in our they played in our faces with Cardi B fucking a border home. They playing in your face with Umar Johnson. What in the world? Somebody told me to look at the Braxton family, and I guess Tamar was supposed to get into it with Tony. No, let me say this. Why don't they just admit that they pimped out their sister Tamar with that pussy? Just stop it already. They pimped out their sister. And Tamar done died twice already. Not once, but twice. So one, we don't know who that zombie is. The other part of it, if you go read the word and understand the Tamar frequency, is very clear Tamar just getting pimped out and been pimped out. And they've been pimping her out, allegedly. Anyway, just a little, quick frequencies of what's going on and people asking me kind of in reference of going on. But however, Day of the Dead, let's say Day of the Saints, we're going to acknowledge our ancestors out here even more than ever, right? Right? Lunar Halo. That Lunar Halo Day, that's a very interesting energy, because that's clearly dealing with the moon, is dealing with our iris, our eyes, and what we need to see. And that's something I call that the inside frequency, because that means, as in layman terms, removing the veil. We need to walk into different dimensions so we can see discernment. We need to fuck with the dead. The dead is talking to us. I had somebody in my comments bring up Tan the God, Oakland. I remember that. And I heard them niggas, oh, she deserved it. She should have made all about that nigga. Da, 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 da. And you're absolutely right in the comments. It was a skinny jean little nigga. Hyper retarded like fucks. All them little skinny jean niggas be up there having a hatred towards women and females. And they went and shot that girl talking about vengeance for their friend or whoever that nigga is who was whooping her ass. And she got tired of that ass whooping and killed that ass. They just mad because she made a song about it. But you know what's contradictory about that shit? Niggas can sit up and kill niggas, come back out, and then rap about it and talk about it. Nothing happened, or it takes a minute. She did that shit. They went up to the opening of her. What is it? She was have a hair, not hair extension, but you know, like a hair shop, whatever, like a beauty supply house, and killed her. Nah, I don't agree with that shit. Double standard ass shit. Nah. And they say her birthday is 11/03. Then she's the Day of the Dead. Her energy deserves to uproot and get vengeance. Then somebody put in my comment, and I was like, very interesting. Tiffany Foster. And in the comments, they said they haven't found her body yet, but her boyfriend, right? Reginald Robinson, guilty of murder, Georgia. No, we need to really focus on the deaths of all these young ladies and women. And it's more than ever. The attack, the murder, the shooting. And some of these motherfuckers are getting away with it. They have the audacity to hype up the Ebony Alert. What are you talking about? Remember what's that case? It was so crazy that the grandmother and the father killed the daughter. Was that Detroit? Where was that story? These men out here having sex with these little girls, impregnating them and killing them. People out here so mad at women, but we got fathers selling daughters. Spermicide, homicide. And anything a woman does is behind a man. Spermicide, homicide. Witchcraft and bewitchery. Anyway, this is Weird Renegade Witches blog. Hit us up when you want some real motherfucking work done.